I welcome you all on AMP's web talk. About AMP, I would like to tell AMP stands for Association of Muslim Professionals. It is registered in India, USA, UK, and Australia as a non-profit organization. AMP has completed its 12 years serving our community in the field of education, employment, and empowerment. AMP has a vision to positively impact lives of 10 million people by the year 2030. AMP's mission is to empower the underprivileged for the greater benefit of the society in general and nation as a whole. AMP's vision is to be a model community which is advanced in education, socially progressive, culturally vibrant, politically influential, and economically dynamic. So what AMP has achieved in these past 12 years is right in front of you all in the slide. You can just have a quick look at it so that you can understand our achievements, our projects, and what activities under these projects we conduct. So as you can see, we have school development programs and we call it SDPs, where we conduct skill development lectures in schools, and many students, they get benefited by this. So we also do teachers training and parenting workshops. So you can see the numbers here. Then we have employment assistance cell, we call it EAC, where we conduct job drives and job fairs. And there we get the candidates employed. We also have employment training programs doing. And then we have a scholarship and self-employment project where higher education scholarship sessions are being conducted nowadays. And we also support orphan education. Then we have a resource center where we have career counselors who are dedicatedly, counseling students in their higher education and in their career. So as you can see, we are also into awards and partnership. I'll just allow you 2-3 seconds so that you can go through the slide. So these were our main flagship projects where we work towards benefiting our community and nation. Apart from that, AMP's presence is as such on ground. AMP got more than 100 active chapters. We are present in 25 states and 16 countries with more than 6,000 active members and volunteers. Alhamdulillah. And in AMP's online presence, we have 125,000 members and professionals who are connected to us through various social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Google Group, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and we are also on Twitter. So if you wish to join AMP, you can simply log on to www.ampindia.org/joinamp, and we will be very glad to have you on board with us. Okay, so this was all about AMP and its work. I'm very sure that you must have understand us, you must have gotten fair idea about our projects. So I'll quickly introduce you all to our speaker and panelist. We have with us Mr. Abdul Razak Sheikh, who's the AMP's project head and is one of the strongest players here, and Mr. Omar Farooq Ansari, who's our scholarship expert. To proceed with the session and guide you all for the same, I will request Mr. Omar Farooq to take it from here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Umera. Good afternoon, assalamu alaikum, everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
So let me start with the presentation. So before starting today's session, let me introduce you to one of the flagship projects of AMP, that is AMP Scholarship. At AMP, we are connected with experts and some CSR industry people so that we carry out our research and collect information about various scholarships, whether government or private, and make sure that the student reaches full benefits of it. Since it is being operated remotely, we are also have a network of our NGO team so that one of our volunteers gets in touch with the needy student and teach them. We have a dedicated web page for the authentic and verified scholarships, as you can see on screen. And for any queries from students and teachers, we resolve those queries via email. So within 24 hours after sending an email, you will receive the resolution of your query. Any information you want, you can get it from us. So now, friends, Indian students make up the second highest influx of international exchange. Still, we have seen dropout ratio increasing day by day when it comes to go abroad and study. So now we have come up with a list which talks about schemes available for Indian students. The first two, as you see on the screen, are pri- offered by private organization as a part of their corporate social responsibility, and the last two are sponsored by the government. So the government pays the interest on behalf of the students. So let's see the first one. JN Tata Endowment Scheme, at the start of your master's pursuing, you can avail this. So unlike Indian education system, we have spring and fall, which spans from March to May and September to November respectively. So at the start of your course, you can apply
Uh,
for.
excuse me, Mr. Omar Farooq, I would like to tell you that your voice is not very clear and it is the sound is very low. So if you can, increase your volume a little bit and please
Okay,
kindly check. Yeah, okay.
now it's better.
It is much better. Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
thank you.
So the given link you have to visit in, and apply. So let us see what are the required documents and the eligibility criteria. So like I said, it's for Indian students, and you need to be among the students distinction. Like you need to have at least 60% in the last academic examination. So now the applications are closed. For from the next spring, you can apply, or from the next fall, 2021, you can also apply. Those who are in second year, candidates who are in penultimate year of their degree or final year of it, they can also apply and inquire about it. So now the amount is minimum, as you see, nearly 10 million. Also, as per the selection committee's evaluation, a gift scholarship can be given to the deserving students. So the topmost student, they can also give some additional amount, like you see, 7,50,000. From March, you can apply for this scholarship. Now, the selection process will comply of good competitive exam scores like GRE, GMAT, TOEFL, IELTS. Second thing is the statement of purpose. Now, this is the term we are quite unfamiliar with. The statement of purpose, the reason why the highest weightage has been given to this particular document is it defines who you are, what have you done, and what are your goals and how you are going to achieve them. I mean, you need to draft your visions and goals, your accomplishments, everything you put it, you need to put into words and send alongside all educational documents. So once you send your documents via online, then they will conduct a screening of your application. They will conduct a small test that is thinking and skill assessment that will be dependent on critical thinking and your aptitude. So usually in the second week of April, once you are shortlisted, once you have cleared this TSA, you will be invited for technical interview. That may happen in person or take place through Skype as well. Now, those who are in second year, those who have already taken admission abroad and want to avail this interest subsidy scheme, will be evaluated on the basis of their performance in the first year. So, alongside all the education documents like your mark sheets from SSC, intermediate, graduation, everything, you need to have statement of purpose. And one more thing to be noted about this particular document is it has to be 100% plagiarism free. Since everyone is unique, your goals are unique, your qualification is unique, so you are unique, and so must be your statement of purpose. Now, one more important document here is the recommendation letter. Personally, I will recommend you to get this from one of your professors, industry experts, social activists, or head or the principal of your institute. So that will play an important role so that your talent is recognized and the selection committee might take this into consideration as well. Now, Like JN Tata scheme, we have another private CSR scheme, and that is KC Mahindra. It's also an interest-free loan scholarship. So you'll see the link here. When you visit the link, you will now coming to the eligibility criteria. Those who have applied or already secured admission, I mean, universities offer you a seat once you are shortlisted. So you can submit that document to KC Mahindra Education Trust as a proof that you have secured a seat. So the expenses are given as rupees 8 lakh per scholar to the first three fellows. I mean, out of the thousands of applications they will be receiving. So among those, to the top three candidates, they have special gift that is 8 lakh. For the rest, it's 4 lakh per scholar. And usually at the end of January month, you can apply for this. Again, they have set out some filters to give their scholarships. First is academic qualification. Obviously, you have to be in merit. The second is you are in dire need of financial assistance. I mean, it's not like people who are financially stable, you can afford this heavy price to go abroad and study till they are applying. So they will conduct a background verification check to assess your need. The last one is how you are going to achieve your goals. How are you going to make difference once you complete your education? The selection committee will have a bunch of industry experts, some from KC Mahindra and some external personalities will be invited as well. So they will take your interviews and evaluate your performance. So the required documents like JN Tata Endowment Scheme, here also you will need admission letter, letter of recommendation, SOP, which is the most important, single most important document. Now, scores of your competitive exam. Depends which university you are preferring. I mean, different universities have different criteria. Some require you to have cleared the TOEFL, GRE, or GMAT. So academic transcripts from all your from school to intermediate to graduation, your CV. Now, whatever mini projects, research work, publications, hackathon, and extracurricular activities, whatever you have done, you need to mention in your CV and also your certificate as it, because they offer this scholarship scheme only to the students who are less than 30 years of their age. So you need to have the evidence of age as well. Now, the first two were the private CSR schemes. So now this is an exclusive scheme for officially recognized minority communities sponsored by the Indian government. You are a minority student, you can apply for this scheme. On behalf of you, the government pays all the interest. I mean, student goes to bank and applies for an education loan, and bank gives the student loan, and whatever the interest is going to be, government is going to take care of that as long as you have completed your education or got a job. So that is called as a moratorium period. So after 1 year of your completion of your education or 6 months after getting job, whichever is earlier, you need to start repaying the amount. If you fail to, you know, get the job within a year after completion of your masters, you will have to pay the interest amount by yourself. Like they have reserved this scheme for uh, PhD, masters, postgraduate diploma, and MPhil courses. Now they also set some income limits. I mean, your gross family income shouldn't be beyond 6 lakhs, and you should belong to minority communities. So the bank you are going to borrow loan from must be associated with Indian Banks Association, whether it can be nationalized or private. So from at the first year only you need to apply for this scheme. From second year you cannot apply for it. is one-time scheme. So whatever expenses you incur during your course, that will be paid. So just when you complete your graduation, you can visit the bank and give the reference of the scheme. And government will have a dedicated portal for this scheme. So bank will accept your documents, bank will feed all your information into the portal, and then goes to the selection community. Upon being evaluated, then the amount will be granted to you. Along with all the necessary documents, additional documents you will have is income certificate. So as to show that your gross family income is not beyond 6 lakhs. And also you will need to submit a self declaration that you belong to a minority community. One more scheme government has sponsored is Dr. Ambedkar Central Scheme of Interest Subsidy. Apart from minorities, if you fall into other backward classes or economically backward classes, you can avail the benefits of this scheme as well. Like the previous scheme, it's also reserved for postgraduate diploma, masters, MPhil, and PhD level courses. And at the start of, you can only avail this scholarship once, not more than one. I mean, if you have taken the benefits of this scheme at master's level while pursuing PhD, you cannot apply for this scheme. The income limit has been set for OBC is 1 lakh and EBC is 3 lakh, beyond which you cannot apply for this scheme. So like Pado Pardesh scheme, it also covers 100% of your tuition fees, and upon completion of your graduation, you can apply for the scheme.
Mr. Omar Farooq, I see that your mic is on mute. Kindly
Yes,
please. Yeah. So can you please mention minimum and maximum age too? One of our attendees is asking. You can.
usually it's 45 years, between 30 to 45 years.
Okay, thank you.
Now, what are the aspects of studying abroad? When you look at Satyajit Nadella or Sundar Pichai, what comes in your mind? I mean, what may have made them a global leader? So, because during their start of their career, they went abroad to study. So, the kind of international exposure they needed, they got from overseas studies. And like I said, multicultural exposure is given. So, along with huge importance is given to on the uh, internships, community service programs, and extracurricular activities. Also, you can earn money by doing a part-time job. Some handy pocket money you can earn. You'll become independent. What are the phases involved in preparing for studying abroad? Very first thing will be to gather as much information as you can. I mean, once you zeroed in on, which university you are going to get admitted into, which country you are applying for. So once you plan everything, you start collecting information. The very first thing will be your email writing. Guys, stick to the basics. Email etiquettes are very, very important. You, your inquiry email, your appointment. I mean, for JN Tata Endowment Scheme, you need to take their appointment to personally visit their office and submit them the proof of that you will repay the amount. So the collateral security and the person who's giving you recommendation. So everything that will happen in person. So to seek their appointment, when you send application, when you send a follow up, and if you want to know the status of your application, so any queries you have, everything will be communicated over email only. So it's good to revisit your basics of email writing. The second thing will be networking. I mean, you might find that your seniors from alumni of your institutes have got admission in abroad. So you can connect with them. You can complete your profile. You can optimize it. You can connect with like-minded people on network. no matter even if you are stranger to them, they are there to help you because this is what the network is built for. You can ask them your queries, so it will help a lot. Third thing would be the most important phase will be the documentation. I mean, these days, even your health examination reports, your visas, your passports, uh, like I earlier mentioned, your statement of purpose, your CV, your academic transcript, everything has to be in hand. So at the last moment, you will not risk for rushing, right? And the fourth phase will be your examination, like competitive exam. These days, many universities are offering relaxation in IELTS or TOEFL. So you are okay with any university specific exam. So you can devote some 2 3 months for preparation. You can start collecting study materials. You can go for mock tests. Like TOEFL and IELTS have speaking and reading tests as well. So you will have some voice and accent tests, freeware apps. You can make use of them. These are the resources. Just keep them on your tabs. So these are very useful websites. They will send you regular updates or newsletters. On 31study.com, you can also create a profile, not just for international scholarships, for need-based and merit-based as well. Once you complete your profile, they will recommend you. Just note down these websites. At AMP, we, like I said at the start only, that we respond to students within 24 hours. So anything you want to ask after this webinar, you can mail us and we will reply. To display all the verified scholarships, we have a web page, ampindians.org/scholarship. Any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Omar Farooq, for such an insightful and interesting session on international education and scholarship. So moving forward to the Q&A round, I would welcome Mr. Amir Nurle Saab, who's the AMP's scholarship project head. He's with us today. Assalamu alaikum, Amir Nurle bhai. So on behalf of AMP, I would like to express our gratitude for taking out your precious time out today, being Sunday, to guide our audience. So I saw that there were few questions that were open, and Mr. Amir Nurle Saab, he answered many of the questions by typing, so I am sure. So there I see that one question is open. Mohammed Sabauddin is asking any age limit for these scholarship or loans? So would you like to take this question? Amir bhai, would you say so?
Yeah, yeah. So basically, the age limit in some cases there are particular age limit like less than 30 years of age, or generally it's like the course age when the student completed MSc or the master's course. So generally that age is considered plus or minus one, like you can say, like 25 can be a suitable age, or less than 30 years it can be said. But for PhD, there is are not much restriction about age because many students complete at a higher age, about 40 years also. So, in spite of going by age limit, we can go by the merit basis or the SOP, statement of purpose, as Umar defined. The student need to have all the things in his application, right from the academic. Even if he has a CGPA of 10 by 10, then too his application will be incomplete if he doesn't have any extracurricular activities in it, or any sports activity, cultural event, or any publication like that. So if you are a student of and you want to apply for foreign universities, complete your SOP, not only academic but a complete one. And I am sure these students are more eligible to get this scholarship or the interest-free loan. Um, so there is another question, I think. You can read out.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
is it mandatory to write GRE for applying this type of scholarship?
Uh, Generally, the GRE, TOEFL, and IELTS, there are three exams.
Mhm.
So it depends upon the country in which you are applying. If you are applying for USA, then you need to apply for and you need to give GRE and TOEFL. And if you are considering European countries or German universities, then you can go by TOEFL. And if you are going for Canada, you need to apply for IELTS.
Hmm.
So it depends upon country to country, and just the basic criteria, basic thing that TOEFL, IELTS, and GRE offer is the same. It checks your proficiency in English language, right from your writing to the speaking skills. So if a student prepare for GRE, he or she can be well and good in other exams also. And there are some universities which offer course, full scholarship. Like if you go for Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, COST University. COST means King Abdullah University of Science and Technology, King Fahad, or many other universities in Saudi Arabia. So they offer full course fees as means so it will be covered under scholarship, as well as the accommodation is also covered. And
Yeah.
and it's a whole residential program. So just the required thing is a good CGPA as well as a good profile, as Umar has mentioned already.
Mhm.
What we need to be with our academic score. So I suggest student can go by their country wise. If a student is interested in USA, they can prepare for a GRE TOEFL or a European countries TOEFL and Canada IELTS. But the thing is, um, after all, it will be dependent upon the SOP. So
Okay. So the next question is, are there any 0% interest study loans? As in Islam, taking loan with interest isn't allowed.
I would like to answer this question.
Yes, sir.
Actually, we were discussing interest-free schemes only till now, because on behalf of the student, government is paying the interest. So the moratorium period is after 1 year of the completion of your master. So I think Islamically it should be allowed. Still, you can ask any scholar.
uh, I can add to it.
Mhm.
I have sent a message to all the students like dear student international interest free loan scholarship by Indian Trust. So all these things that Umar discussed is interest free loan itself. J and Tata Indian offer 10 lakhs rupees interest free loan, KC Mahindra 8 lakhs, Narottam 20 lakhs limit. So these are all interest free loans. So your question about Islam and interest free loan is solved. If you have a great profile, so you can apply for these three trusts, Indian trusts. So it will be interest free. And if you want to go for interest loan, you can go by Vidya Lakshmi website. It will be charging around 10 to 12% the bank loan, education loan from the bank. Apart from that, there are some options like Paro Pradesh scheme already Umar discussed. So it will be offering you interest subsidy for 3 years or course period plus 1 year. So after that, you need to pay the interest.
And one
So
more thing about the J and Tata endowment scheme, they will allow you to repay the amount in 5 equal installments of 20%. I mean, 2 years of your master's education, from third year to seventh year, you can pay 20% of the loan taken each year. So 5 years you'll be having to
so it's
repay
a
the
good
loan.
thing. And apart from that, if you are want to go for interest loan, so there are one more option for minority student. Generally, I will suggest the minority student all know about it. The Muslim, Buddhist, Sikh, Christian, religious come under the minority community. So they can apply for 5 to 7% NMDFC loan, National Minority Development and Finance Corporation loan. So for boys it is 7% and for girls it is 5% interest loan. So they can go for it. RD Shetna nominal interest loan if they want to apply for interest loan at nominal rate around 5%, and the rest three are interest free loan, JN Tata, KC and Narottam. And there is one more thing, ISDB, Islamic Development Bank Jeddah. So they offer totally interest-free loan or interest-free scholarship, you can say. The terms and conditions like this: the student, if you are applying for undergraduate, let's say a 3 years course in for BSc in any country, London or in any city, you can go for Germany or Canada, USA, anywhere. So the 3 years fees will be paid by the ISDB, Islamic Development Bank Jeddah. And after your completion of your 3 years, you need to pay your if you are going for masters, then you need to pay your first year masters fees. Then the second year master's fees will be paid by ISDB. So this is one option for if you are considering high means a long-term career goal or a long-term planning about your academic, like till your masters, then you go for ISDB. And if you are joining in, let's say for masters, so your 1 year fees will be paid by ISDB. And as I've said, if you have joined in the undergraduate course and you completed your 3 years course, now you don't want to study further, and you are opting out of the academics, and you might be joining in some jobs or something else. So then you need to pay someone else fees for 1 year, master's fees for 1 year. So this is the option that ISDB offers, and the ISDB application starts in the month of Feb. So next year it will be starting. So just prepare well for along with like your documents and your SOPs. So it will be handy because all the scholarship starts in the month of Jan till the March. So you have a time around I think November, December. So there is 2 months time if you are planning for education in foreign countries. Well prepared, like from now, start your preparation, like start for your GRE, your TOEFL and IELTS, and it's not much difficult to prepare for GRE and TOEFL. My classmates, uh, as I can say, I have a batch of 20 students. We are a batch of 20 students, and from that, 9 students are in foreign countries. They are studying in USA, Canada. So, and their GRE score is around 325 to 345 around. So it's not much difficult if you are preparing well, and it just take around 3 months to prepare for GRE. Well, full efforts. So I'm done with it. Next,
Yeah.
any questions?
Thank you, Amir sir. So the next question is from Miss Mansi Saxena. Sir, currently I'm pursuing BSc in Forensic Science, second year. And is there any scholarship in India so that I can also complete my MSc?
Yeah. So as I have shared one more message, dear student, you shall apply for central government schemes at NSP or the state government. So the student is from Maharashtra state. He can go for MahaDBT MyIT website. Apart from that, the student has the option to go for CSR funds, like she can create her profile on Vidyatharthi NSDL website and Buddy for Study. Currently, Vidyatharthi is open now, so you can apply for that. Apart from that, there are many scholarship that opens around a year. So I suggest to stay with us updated by our WhatsApp group or Facebook page, so that timely you can be notified.
We have
Certainly.
released our monthly bulletin of scholarships, so you can check AMP's Facebook page. You will find the sheet. So
And
Yes. And also, if you can, share this message which you have replied to the questions, Amir sir, on the
yeah,
chat, so that it is available for all the people to look at it. Yeah.
okay, okay,
So
just
I'll just take, so I'll just take next question. So there is one anonymous attendee who's asking, is there any scholarships which covers all the fees, including hostel, etc., excluding KSA? Like outside KSA, I think he wants to ask this thing.
it's a difficult thing. Umar might answer if he knows something about this
usually,
option.
usually Padho Pradesh scheme provides all the required funds, but still they have certain limits So as per their quota, they will try to allocate their funds. Anyway, after all, it depends on the selection committee, like students' profile, students' performance, the merit, so many parameters. But
What I'm saying is, many all the scholarship mostly are for academics fund, and hostel and the accommodation is need to be beared by the student itself, and it is easy because the student can work for part time like 4 hours or 3 hours, whichever is the limit by specified country. So they can cover their expense by working in foreign countries along with their academics.
Certainly, yeah. So the next question is again from an anonymous attendee. He's asking, Assalamu alaikum. Is there any academic requirements for the Padho Pardesh scheme?
Umar, you want to answer it?
yes, Amir bhai, thank you. Like we mentioned, you need to be among the distinction. So you need to have more than 60 or more than 60%, and your income limit should be, the gross family income should be less than 6 lakhs per annum. And also you need to belong to a minority community like Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, Parsis, Jains, Buddhists, etc.
Correct. Thank you. So I think, yeah. So the next question is from Mr. Amir Khan. How to get a loan if my family financial condition is not good? So I think for loan, you have already covered the topic. If you want, you can answer this question again.
The thing is, why worry about the loan? First, get your academics well, get your SOP well, then you can get the interest-free loan itself.
Correct.
If your financial condition is not good, because if you go for bank education loan, he will ask you for either your mortgage or something assets like that. And after that also, if you are applying for foreign universities, they will ask the passbook copy, uh, which has a particular amount as a saving to fund the accommodation there. So in spite of that, worrying about that condition, the student can prepare well for his exams, prepare study well from now onwards, and create a good SOP. So there are options for interest-free loan that in Indian trusts offer like Tata or Narottam and Mahindra.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Amir sir, there is this question Miss Roseman Panchi is asking. She's saying, I'm back in chemistry. I'm back in chemistry student, and I have financial problems. Can I get help from your side?
Sorry.
She's asking. She's a chemistry student, and she has some financial issues.
Yeah.
So she's asking if she can get help from our side. So we do have a scholarship option available.
Yeah.
For India's
As
Zakat.
I have I have sent it in the chat box the message so she can read it. And as I have said, there are options like CSR fund. So the student can go for the CSR website like Buddy for Study, Vidya Sarthi. And apart from that, she is a student of chemistry, she might be in BSc, I think, BSc, which year she is in specified, or might be in masters. So there are options. So she can be with us via our Facebook or WhatsApp group, and we will constantly update all our the currently available scholarships. So right as of now, there are two options. Create a profile on these two websites that I have shared with the and Buddy for Study.
Certainly, because these scholarships are for the students who have financial problems. So you can always go ahead and avail these scholarships. So these sessions which we have organized, and our scholarship experts are giving out the lecture on, and making you aware of the scholarships that are present to help you in your studies. You can always pay attention to the lecture and see what what best you can do. And since Amir sir and Omar Farooq sir, they have already shared many things about this scholarship today. So you can go ahead, create your profile, and avail these scholarships so that you can, go ahead with your studies. So the next question is from Liaquat Sargosh, sorry, Sarguro. My son is in final year BTech Mechanical Engineering from NIT Rourkela. He wants to pursue MS in Canada. Can you please advise how we can avail for a scholarship? Other than IELTS exam, how many other exams he needs to appear?
Yeah. So as a student is in NIT, so the academic will be a good academic background will be good, and the college reputation is also good. So he can is well eligible for three things that we already discussed: Narottam and Mahindra and Tata. So this is the option for him. And apart from that, other than IELTS exam, so there are two more GRE and TOEFL. So just it will take around 10 to 15,000 to apply for GRE and TOEFL. So other than IELTS, these two exams the student can give, and it will be a good because it will be having many options like I said, KSA universities cost. If the profile is good on the basis of GRE and TOEFL, the student can go into cost university, and as the student is opting like to go for Canada, then also better it will be to give GRE and TOEFL.
Sure, sir.
And the rest, already I've shared the message that there are some websites like WMX Scholar, Buddy for Study, Scholarships in India, and Master Portal. So he can check these websites, and if all the preparation are done, like university selection and application process. So you can check their website, and on the basis of that, you can get some scholarship related to his course.
And in case you find it difficult, you can always mail us. So you have our email ID scholarships@ampindia.org. We will provide you with whatever study material we have with us. We will also, if needed, we can also connect with students who have cleared this exam. So we will help you in every way possible. Just while emailing us, mention international scholarship in the subject line of the mail.
Yeah, for GRE, I think we have Umar is in contact with Jishan Momin. He's my classmate and is currently studying in USA, Northeastern University in master's course.
Yes, Amir bhai, he has given me everything, and in fact, I have shared the same with two students, so they are preparing right now.
Yeah, so it's a good thing that we are benefiting from the students that are already in foreign countries and they are helping us to come forward.
Yes, Amir bhai. As a student, we seek benefits, and once we are established in our career, we can also help the others underprivileged.
So,
Thank you. So the next question is from Muhammad Badruddin. He's asking, Assalamu alaikum, sir. What is the requirement for Islamic development type scholarship?
Islamic Development Bank scholarship criteria is they have specified some courses like environment science or related to public like social sector. So one can visit the ISDB website and they can check the earlier last year criteria, and it will start in the month of Feb. So student has time uh, for going through all the documents required for the basic requirement for all the international scholarship is same. You need to have the exam, certified exam like GRE, TOEFL, and IELTS score, and your SOP, as I have said, and academic like the mark sheet and extracurricular things, certificate. So these are the things that the student need to upload while they are applying for any international scholarship, either in India or from abroad countries.
Oh,
So if required, we will take a session on how to make SOP.
hmm.
Because if you go for a top universities like MIT or Purdue or Stanford, the application is processed on the basis of SOP. So to reach there, we need to teach the student how you can sustain yourself in front of other students. There will be 1,000 students, and your application should be picked by the uh, reviewer there. So if there is a around 100 students for what to, and we have if we have 100 students, then I can arrange a session for SOP writing, because the speaker is not much free for taking 10, 15 students. And if you go for a like agent or a what we say a consultant, so they charge nominal charges are included to write the SOP and all. So the second option is, so the student can go for any consultant and they will take the charges as per the country, universities or location wise.
Thank you. So, Amir sir, there is one more question from Mr. Amir Khan. He is asking how to avail scholarships for undergraduation BSc engineering in Canada.
Already answered like for that NIT student, so it will be the same thing. And apart from that, Omar can add if something is more in it.
Yes, your merit and academic excellence will play an important role in this case, because most of the endowment schemes and scholarships are available for those who are interested to go abroad to pursue masters only. So still for undergrad, you can apply for university specific scholarship. So we are planning to have information about university specific scholarship country wise in the subsequent sessions, inshallah. So your academic performance, like Amir Bhai said, your SOP, everything will be taken into consideration. The reason why uh, we are telling you about this endowment scheme and interest-free subsidies is because very few students win 100% scholarships. I mean, the rest of us get admission abroad, but the living expenses, tuition fees, these are very high prices. So for that, we can make use of endowment scheme. Otherwise, we can try hard. We can score good rank in competitive exams like GRE and TOEFL, and we can feature among the topmost students to win the fully funded scholarship.
Perfect. So, next question is from Mr. Haris Kamal. He's asking, Assalamu alaikum. I am a BCom graduate and I plan on pursuing my master's in sports management MBA from a foreign university. Please guide me as to how to pursue my goal.
For MBA, especially GMAT exam needs to be cleared. You need to have sound scores in such exam. Apart from that, your SOP, your CV, your research work, your projects, hackathons, your your volunteering experience, everything will be taken into evaluation, and you can get that. You can also apply for already explained these endowment schemes. You will get that.
And the second thing is the MBA fees are very hefty. So the student need to have something from his part also. And fees can go like till a crore rupees, I think 50 to 1 crore. So the student need to be well sound enough, or he can apply for the universities which offer scholarships. So we have a consultant like Razak Bhai can give the details for universities in UK for MBA program.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So, Mr. Like Razak Sheikh sir, do you want to add something to it, as Amir sir said? Or shall we proceed to the conclusion and closing? Because I see there are no more questions left to be answered. Okay, so I'll just take last question. That is, will they consider our previous study percentage? Of course, I think your previous study percentage is always considered. So Amir sir, do you want to add anything to this? And
Not
then we
only
can.
previous, right from your class 10 till your bachelor or master's course, everything and every year code is monitored.
Okay, so we are done with our Q&A round now. And Alhamdulillah, all the queries, they are answered. Thank you, Mr. Umar, for the lecture. And thank you, Amir, sir, for clearing all the doubts with the right amount of information and details that our attendees had. If you want to give some advices to our participants, as in like you want to conclude the session, that would be great. So,
Yeah. So the thing is, if we are worried, we want to apply and we want to go for foreign countries, it's a good idea. And as I said, the student need to be a well prepared in advance. If if I am going abroad and I come my fees paying date is like 31st October, and I go for trust or someone will let pay my fees. I am going in foreign countries to study, so it's not a good idea, and it's a bit difficult thing for anyone or the community NGOs to support the student. So I suggest everyone, if you have a proper plan, if you have a proper goal, or if you are planning a long-term academic, or if you want to go for foreign countries or any like in India or abroad, you should be should have a prepared plan for it. Even if you go for any stream, so I suggest prepare well in advance for whatever you do. Like the student clear class 12, then they opt for a science or need exam or something like that. So don't take things till the last point. You should be uh, always um, a bit concerned about your financial activities, financial details, or I can say financial background, as well as the academic. And you should be always in a bit updated to all the things that are going on in currently, so that if there's something related to your studies or something related to your plan which you want to pursue, so it will be a beneficial thing. As I said, the application will start from January itself, so you have a time to prepare well and plan from now onwards. Okay, I want to go for a foreign universities, and I have a good SOP, and prepare your SOP from now onwards itself. Thank you.
thank you so much, Amir Nurle Bhai, for the wonderful conclusion and your remarks. And to all the amazing audience who happens to be a student and they have asked a very good amount of questions, I highly appreciate your logging in for today's session, and we were glad to have you all on board with us in our session today. I wish attending our session will help you all in your career paths, inshallah. So follow everything that Amir Nule sir and Mr. Umar Farooq has suggested in this session today. At AMP, we are committed to organize such web talk sessions and follow-up sessions that allow you all to connect, communicate, and learn from our highly experienced speakers, trainer, and career coaches. We will be uploading today's recorded session on our AMP YouTube channel in a few days, inshallah. So stay tuned to us, connect to us on our social media platform so that you all can get all our regular updates on the activities we are conducting on day-to-day basis. So for further assistance, you may also write to us at scholarships at ampindia.org, and then there in the email, you need to mention all the complete details with the proper subject. If you wish to be a part of AMP and its community work, you can simply log on to www.ampindia.org/joinamp. All right. So I see that Mr. Amir Nurle has also, shared a link that is a Facebook page for the scholarship. So you can always go there. You can join that page and get maximum knowledge from there. So okay, friends, I'm Humaira. Along with me, I had Mr. Amir Nurle Saab, Mr. Abdul Razak Saab, and our expert speaker, Mr. Umar Farooq Saab. So now here from onwards, I'll take your leave. So signing off now from here. Stay home, stay safe, and keep learning. Take care. Goodbye for now. Happy weekend. Assalamu alaikum.